Welcome back, guys, to another Beyond All Reason casting episode. It's not a casting episode, actually, so I don't know why I fucking said that. But anyway, today we're just going to be looking at the Legion faction. As you can see, he's having a fucking grand old time. Now, in this video, you might hear some but that's because there's like some work being done on my house at the moment. But we're just going to do a quick overview of the units in the new Legion faction, but we're also going to do the buildings as well, but that'll be in a different video. So that'll be like part 2. Anyway, let's get into this one. So we have the bot lab, vehicle lab, and air lab as well. We also have the other labs like the Hovercraft platform, but I'm fairly sure all of those units... Oh no, we've got some new units here as well, so let's just pop those out over there. Alright, so yeah, let's get into this one here. First off, we will start off with the Hovercraft. Why not? So, we've got the shotgun hover tank here. That's 550 metal and 11,000 energy. Now, as you can see, it's kind of like a shotgun, which is very unique. Now, one of the things you'll notice with a lot of these Legion units is they all have very unique like abilities. This is the anti-air hovercraft here. That's 210 metal, 4,300 energy there. And we've got the rocket launch here. So this is the same as kind of most of the factions here. We've just got a basic rocket there. And that's 190 metal with 3,100 energy. And that's just going to pop out there. I'll just bring up the stats for you guys so that you can read them, if that's what you need. And this guy needs to stop firing. So, next we have the fast attack hovercraft, which is essentially the same as the... I can't remember what it's called, but it's one of the Legion lighter vehicles anyway. Is this guy still shooting? No. Alright, I don't know what this blurred square in the corner is. Please try and ignore it. But then we've got the hover tank as well here. So that is different to the shotgun hover tank. Now, most factions have these 3 units here, as well as the anti-air as well, and the constructor, of course. But this is definitely unique to the Legion faction. So, I'll just bring up the stats there for you, and this is the construction vehicle here. These models look amazing, by the way. I would like to give them a little bit of respect on that. Next, we are going to go to the bot lab here. So it's kind of, for me, it's kind of hard to tell the difference between these two. But you can kind of tell just by the circle and then the square. So circle, square, triangle with the air lab as well. So this is the Goblin. This is the cheapest unit for Legion, I believe. And this is 25 metal and 500 energy. And it's got a little spray gun there. I'll just bring up the stats for you guys. Now, it's a really useful spam unit. Much better than the Ticks or Rovers. Or Rascals, I should say, from Cortex. Next, we have the Phobos, which is the fast assault bot. Now, you can kind of see here. It's quite a good unit. It's like the Hound. But they've definitely changed the look of this one, I believe. But now that's got the double cannon there. Next is the Ballista. Now this is a really, really good unit. I've seen it quite a lot. It essentially just shoots a rocket. And that is 160 metal, 1,920 energy. And then you've got the stats there for you as well. This is the Krakenos. This is quite a useful unit. It's a medium dual weapon infantry bot. Now, let's just see it fire. It's got that shotgun, and it's also got that laser as well. And that's it walking around there. And I'll just bring up the stats for you guys. And then we've got the construction bot here, and we've got the Satyr. So now the Satyr is a very good unit. It has a super long range. It's only 60 metal and 400 energy. But it's essentially the replacement for the Mace and the Thug. It's a little bit lighter, but it has so much more range. It's a really, really volatile unit. It can be used in a lot of different situations. And then over here, we have the Zagreus, which is the Resbot. It looks very fucking cool, though. Let's have a little close-up of all these models. They all look super, super sick. This one, why are you giving me a butt? There we go. And yeah, they all look super sick. Not gonna lie. Okay, next we're gonna go on to the vehicle lab. So we've got the wheelie here, as people were saying is cute. We've got the mine layer. I'm just gonna leave up the stats for you guys. The wheelie is quite useful, but the Alaris is definitely used more than the wheelie. They're not too far apart in terms of cost for metal, but the Alaris actually does have quite a lot more stats. So I think most people spam the Alaris instead of the wheelie. Got the Helios here, which is quite a useful vehicle. It's quite slow though. As you can see, it turns really slow. And it is just generally quite slow for a tier 1 vehicle. Now, next is the Napalm launcher. Actually, I'll just show you how this fires. I'll show you how these ones fire as well. There you go. And that's the Helios there. So now we're looking at the Napalm launcher. And again, a unique thing to Legion. Actually so OP this. If you have a large unit of thugs, they will just, or just any kind of spam, they just die. It does so much damage. So be wary of this one. Especially when you're fighting into it. Now, this is the normal assault tank, so the counterpart to the... This is kind of the counterpart to the Juno. This is the counterpart to the Stout. This is the counterpart to the Blitz, I want to say. Now, we've got the long-range skirmish here, the Lance. Now, this is quite a good unit. It has a fairly long range, as you can see. And it does quite a lot of damage as well per shot. I'll just leave up the stats there for you. As well as I'll do that for the tank as well. Perfect. Anyway, now we've got the amphibious tank here. Not really seen too much of this. Oh my goodness, that was loud. But it looks fucking sick, you know. And here are the stats for that one. Now we've got the amphibious construction vehicle and the normal construction vehicle here as well. Okay, the speed for the construction vehicle is on here. And it's got 85 build power. Alright, next is the air lab. Now, I couldn't get the fucking air stuff to stand still. So they're kind of just all over the place. Anyway, this is one of my favorite Legion things, to be honest. The suicide bot bomb. It literally, as you can see, just fucking flies into the ground. It's super cool. Anyway, next one, we've got the Noctua, which is the fighter. It's super, super cool. It has it's like a cone of firing. It looks like the Star Wars jets that they have. I think it's in the Clone Wars. I don't know much about Star Wars. Sorry if I offended you, but I'm not really that sorry. Anyway, this is the heavy transport, and there are the stats for you. Just get the stats up for the fighter as well. And then we've also got the blindfold, which is the Juno bomb. There you go. Really useful, as it means you don't have to build an actual Juno. And then we've got the light air transport. I'll leave the stats up for you as well there. Let's pause the video anytime. Now, this is the kind of contentious one, the Mosquito. Now, it does have a reload time, and it can hold up to 4 bullets. And it shoots little rockets like this that do a fair amount of damage per rocket, which is about 44 per rocket. But the reload time isn't really even that long. If you have enough of them, which you would have anyway, it's not really that much of a disadvantage. But that's the construction vehicle there for you, 55 build power, and that's the lab. I'm just going to show you guys the labs for these ones as well. You can pause the video at any time. Alright, but that's our tier 1 covered there for units, except for the naval ones. But I'll cover that in a different video as well. Next, we have the tier 2 bot lab. Again, circle here, square, triangle. That's kind of how you can tell the difference. I think these two are pretty different anyway, so it's not the worst. Anyway, these are in no particular order. Now, I did not know about this unit until now, so this is like a learning experience for all of us. There's so many different units in this bot lab, and it's so cool. I'm just going to turn off no cost here and show you guys what this thing can do. Literally builds a copy of itself inside your base. So like if you're sneaking into the backline, you can literally replicate the spider. So I'm just going to turn no cost back on. Take a little bit longer for that to finish, but we'll wait for that. But actually, yeah, we'll just wait for it. So here are the stats of this thing. It's not bad, and it costs 300 metal. Obviously, it does still cost you the same amount to make another one. But if you've got this in the back line, it's essentially just a factory. And it's not the bad damage. It's essentially, I think, what it's trying to do is be a stealth tank, like the Tier 2 Armada stealth tank. But where instead of being invisible, you instead kind of can sneak in the back and make more of them. Next is the Belcher. Now, I haven't actually seen this unit. Oh, no, I take that back. I have. But this one is kind of like the same. It shoots 2, though, this time for the napalm. And again, this unit is also insanely OP against kind of any spam, any Tier 1 unit, as they just walk through this thing and they get absolutely obliterated. But here are the stats for this one. This is the Telchine, which is the Advanced Amphibious Assault Bot. This is the Salamander, fucking platypus shit. You know what I mean? This is the amphibious one. It's quite cool. It looks like an armadillo. I like the design for sure, but pretty effective unit. You know, it's overall, that's just kind of, it does its job. This is the little bomb dude. Oh my goodness. I keep going way too close. That one just blows up. And you can see this one fire as well. Now, this has an anti-air, I believe, on the top. Oh, no, sorry. That's its torpedoes. But it also has this this beam as well. But yeah, it has the torpedoes on the top and then the beam on the front. This is the combat engineer. It's all terrain, so it can go everywhere. And it has 125 build power. This is the radar bot. This is the jammer bot. I think those are the Cortex ones, so I don't think they've changed those yet. This is the spy bot. I think this is the Cortex one as well, so I don't think they've changed that. I could be wrong though. That does a big stun. Oh my goodness, he just got stripped of his clothing. What the fuck? Anyway, that was kind of, I think that's got a class as assault. This is the Phalanx, one of my favorite Legion units in terms of bots. It is essentially like the Gunslinger, but instead of healing, well, it kind of heals, technically, but it regains its shield. And that negates like 99% damage or something like that. Has a certain amount of health, and as soon as you get that shield off, it's got the health that it has here, which is not 3,000. No, it is 3,000. But the max HP is 10k when it's got the shield on. It's a really, really cool unit. I'm just gonna, oh my goodness, gonna get it to shoot the commander. Again, it's like the Gunslinger. It's a super, super cool unit. This is the anti-air here. This is the incinerator, which is the heat ray. As you can see, just constantly shoots. It's super, really nice unit. Does a lot of DPS and has quite a lot of health. As you can see, 9,000. Now, this is a very, very useful unit. It's essentially the sniper. It's a railgun, and it does a lot of damage in a super range. Very, very, very useful unit. A lot of Legion units have a lot of range. Now, this is the Salvo rocket bot. Again, this is massive range. Not terribly accurate, but if you have like a couple of these things, they do a fair amount of damage, and they can actually do some serious work on defenses. Next is the Hoplite, which you see quite a lot in when people play Legion. It's a very useful unit. It's kind of just all around pretty good, and it moves fairly fast as well. Next is the Construction bot, and there we go. Nothing really to say about that. See, it can build all of the tier 2. All right, long list. Now we've got the vehicle lab, which is a little bit shorter. We've got the radar, which is definitely a Legion radar here. And then we've got the heavy assault heavy tank, which is essentially the heat ray, but it has 2 guns. But those are the stats. Has a little bit less health. Here's the skirmisher tank. Not really seen too much of this thing. The gladiator. The naming conventions are super cool. Oops. But there you go. Now this is the napalm. As you can see, the range is quite huge. Absolutely laying down that napalm. Not very accurately, but if you're kind of holding a position, or you need some big clump of units to be taken out, this is definitely the thing you want to be using. It's a very good against boats as well, as napalm actually does float onto the water. Next is the cluster artillery. It's going to shoot and then sprout off like that. Not a big fan of this type of artillery. The damage is fairly negligible. There you go. But the range is pretty big on this one. Kind of more for static defenses. Here is the jammer vehicle. They haven't changed the air defense, or the anti-nuke, sorry. Instead of it being in bot, it's like vehicles for Cortex. And then now we've got the mobile drone carrier truck. Now drones are absolutely insane. These things have so much health, and they don't do too much damage, but they're very annoying for like turrets and things to deal with. So I can imagine this vehicle having quite a lot of use, but we'll see as people get more and more used to these strategies here. Here's the cheaper tank on the tier 2, and there's the anti-air, and this is the Medusa, which is quite a cool one. It's a salvo rocket. It shoots a laser that does the targeting, and then it fires missiles out of its belly. Really cool design on that one. Next is the Stealthy Mobile Rocket Launcher. I haven't seen this before, but it's essentially an ambassador or a negotiator, except it's stealthy, which I think just means it's kind of harder to target on radar. I'm not entirely sure if ambassadors and negotiators are the same, but that's definitely unique to Legion. All right. Next, we've got the Tier 2 Air. All right, so Tier 2 Air, we have the Tyrannosaurus Rex. I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But it's a pretty cool flying machine here. It's got cannons, it's got miniguns, it's got anti-air. It's got everything you could ever want, and it's got radar. Absolutely beautiful unit. It's essentially just a massive flying fortress, which is what it says. Now, this is the Air Superiority Fighter. As you can see, the Tier 2 Legionnaire is actually insanely OP. It's much better than a lot of the other Tier 2 Air. And it looks pretty fucking cool. Alright, now next is the Flak Interceptor Fighter. Not entirely sure what the fuck that means. But it's there. We will see if we can have a Flak Interceptor. I mean, possibly it shoots down flak? I am not entirely sure on that one, but we will have a look. Next is the general gunship here, which looks fucking cool. And then we've got the Heavy Assault Bomber, which is basically just a giant heat ray that shoots down into the land. Pretty fucking cool. It just did a fucking dodge roll or whatever it's called. But barrel roll, that was pretty freaking cool. Mine layer bomber as well. I feel like I'm missing one. I feel like there's a napalm bomber as well. Could be wrong. But that's everything. This is the construction vehicle as well. Next, we have the tier 3, which isn't complete. But we've got all of these units here. We don't have enough fucking energy to fire this thing. But as you can see, everything popping out here. We're just going to line them all up so we can have a look-see. So first we've got the Sol Invictus. This is like Code Geass, like fucking badass mech. Yeah, pretty fucking cool. I'ma be real. And then we have the, I'll just bring up the stats for that. It's got 4 cannons and an anti-flak as well. And then we've got the Praetorian, what the fuck? Praetorian unit, which has a pretty decent range for its cannon. And then it has 2 kind of closer up shotguns. It's the lesser version, essentially, of the Sol Invictus. Now, we've got the Astraeus here. Don't think we have enough energy to fire it. But as you can see, it's literally just a super long-range artillery. It has a longer range than a Vanguard. But it's it's really amazing. And then we've got the triple ray gun here. It's the kinetic weapons platform, so it just has a bunch of different miniguns and stuff for you to shoot a little bit closer. And it's also got the ray gun on top as well. You stop fucking shooting your cannon, you bitch. Anyway, next one, Amphibious Raider. So this is a very like fast unit that you can kind of run around everywhere. It's like the Marauder and the Shiva. And then, oh my goodness, camera. And then we've got the Heavy Assault Anti-Swarm Tank. So this thing is essentially a lesser version of this thing. And it's kind of more on the AoE side. But other than that, that's all of the units here. In terms of land units and kind of air units. We will have, in the next video, I will show the sea units as well as the buildings. So thank you guys for watching. See you in the next one.